Alrighty, so what's up, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Let's Talk Bulls podcast. My name is Corey. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Alright, so let's get straight into it. So I know I haven't made an episode in the last couple of games. Life happens. I recorded an episode yesterday. I played it back just to see how it was, and there was no volume to it. So I'm like, oh man, what in the world? So anyway, I'm here today making another episode of Let's Talk Bulls podcast. As we all know, a few days ago, the Bulls were blown out by the Miami Heat. I had the Bulls winning that game. Unfortunately, they were blown out, okay? They made up for it in the next game versus the Washington Wizards, which was a game that I definitely saw them winning. But unlike the Miami Heat game, the Bulls came out with the victory versus the Washington Wizards. It was only by 1 point. It was kind of an ugly win. Vooch had some words about that, post-game interview. But hey, a win is a win. It wasn't an ugly one, but the Bulls got the win though, nonetheless. But I like what Vooch said. He kept it real. He was basically, I'm paraphrasing here, he was basically bringing into question, the maturity and the mentality of this Chicago Bulls team. Now, don't get me wrong. I still do think that this team is. I still think that we have great team chemistry. I think that everybody is connecting with each other. I think that everybody wants to help out each other on this team. That's what the team chemistry seems like. But based on what Vooch was saying, it seems like there could probably be some maturity issues to a certain extent with the Bulls. But that's just what I see on the surface, and I'm just basing that off of Vooch's post-game interview after they played the Washington Wizards. So as we all know, I keep coming up with the three same factors that are going to be critical for the success of this Chicago Bulls team this year. Okay, first one is defense. Second one is beat the teams you're supposed to beat. Third one is protect home court. When you're at home in Chicago in front of the United Center crowd, Chicago has one of the best sports fan bases in the entire world, especially in basketball. So if the Bulls can do those three things, it'll be a great season for us. Unfortunately, I felt like that the Miami Heat team was a team that we were supposed to beat. That's just me. And I know that they're having a pretty solid season, but that's just the way that I see it. Let me know what you guys think about that in the comments. And then especially with the Washington Wizards, they've only won one game this season, and I think that the Bulls came out with a lackadaisical approach. Unfortunately, I think the Bulls mentally came out with an approach. Maybe not all the players, but I think that enough players came out with the mental approach that this is going to be an easy game. We're going to win this when they only have one win. They're the worst team in the NBA. We got this wrapped up. Whatever. Let's give a 50% effort instead of a 100% effort. Instead of playing the 48 minutes of intensity. That Norm Van Leer always mentioned. Speaking of that, it was a great, what do you call it? What do the Bulls call it? The Bulls Ring of Honor, I believe it's called. That was a great ceremony that the Bulls did. I watched it on YouTube. Fantastic that they gave their respects to the former players, to some of the former players on the Bulls. Horace Grant, Norm Van Leer, 48 minutes of intensity. I remember that phrase too. Bill Cartwright, John Paxson. This is a great tribute to the former people who used to be on the Bulls in regards to players and coaches. So great tribute. So anyway, the Bulls today, they have a stretch of games coming up. They play the Pelicans tonight. Okay. Now I want you guys to notice something interesting about the Chicago Bulls next 6 games. Okay, so stay tuned in to this episode because I have a very interesting statistic here based on their next 6 games that the Chicago Bulls play. All right, so I'm gonna get to that shortly. Just hang in there. All right, so in the meanwhile, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button if you haven't already done so. If you've already subscribed, thumbs up to you. Thank you. I appreciate all of you guys for subscribing. So what is this interesting thing that I noticed? Okay, so let's get straight into that. So for the Chicago Bulls next 6 games, okay, they play the Pelicans, they play the Hornets, they play the Pacers, they play the Magic, they play the Nets, then they play the Pacers again. Now, what I noticed is now this is not counting the Orlando Magic game though, okay? Between the New Orleans Pelicans, the Charlotte Hornets, the Indiana Pacers, the Brooklyn Nets, all together, combined, all those teams right there, not including the Orlando Magic again, but those teams, the Nets, Hornets, Pacers, Yeah, Nets. I'm sorry, the Pelicans, Hornets, Nets, and Pacers. They have only a total amount of 11 wins all together, not individually. Not each one of them has 11 wins, but when you combine the wins that those teams have, they only have a total of 11 wins. Okay, so rewind this video. Go back to where I just said a couple of minutes ago. It's 3 key factors to the Bulls' success this year. Defense, mentality, you know, how you approach the game, your fight. Okay, second one is beat the teams you're supposed to beat. The Bulls should definitely win against the Pelicans tonight, the Hornets, the Pacers. The Magic is kind of a toss-up, but I think we can get that one too, you know. The Brooklyn Nets and then the Pacers again. I think we should be able to win all of those games. You know, and maybe I'm sounding too overly optimistic or something like that, but just in reality, like I say, you look at that statistic that I just brought up, 11, not counting the Orlando Magic, 11 wins total that those teams have between them, excluding their Orlando Magic. That's pretty bad, you know. So that's all the more reason that the Chicago Bulls should win those games. All right. So when it comes down to it, you know, it comes down to it, you know, games like that matter, because if you come in with a lackadaisical approach, or you come in with their approach like, okay, these next 6 games are going to be a piece of cake, it's going to be a walk in the park, you end up losing half of them. You end up losing 4 out of 6 or something like that, losing all of them or something like that. You know, it comes back and bites you at the end of the season, you know, with playoff seeding, with play-in seeding, draft selections, all types of stuff, you know. So it's just, you know, the Bulls with this next 6 stretch of games, I think at the least, again, maybe I'm overly optimistic, I think that the Bulls should come out of this at least 5-1. That's what I think. Let me know what you guys think about that in the comments. If you guys haven't subscribed already, make sure you hit that subscribe button. I'm usually very consistent with this channel. You know, life happens, things happen. Like I say, I recorded a video yesterday. I was about to go and upload it here. The volume wasn't working for some reason. I did something wrong with my microphone or whatever. So I'm like, oh man, like, all right, whatever. I'm just gonna have to wait until another day to make this video. So I'm making it today. So stay tuned. I'm pretty much very consistent with this channel. So feel free to subscribe. I look forward to making more and more content. I look forward to getting better at the content. Thank you guys for subscribing to my channel. Peace out. Let's go Bulls. Make sure you hit that subscribe button though. Peace out.